My name is Rob Alexander. I'm National Installation Manager here at Sonicare. A question we get from installers and contractors, both on the electrical side as well as from fire alarm contractors, is how to integrate the Sonicare Command Control Panel System with your fire alarm. Here today to help me answer that question is Brock Randell. He's our Parts and Service Manager here at Sonicare. He gets that question all the time. Brock, can you show us how that's done? Give us a basic run through of the panel and show us how to hook it up to different voltages of fire alarms?
I'd be happy to, Rob. First thing you should do is turn off your incoming power. For this instance, I'm going to turn the power off using the lotto switch here, and we're going to get inside the panel. First thing you need to do is make sure you have voltage to these two red fire alarm terminal blocks. This is a normally closed fail-safe system. In some systems, the power can come directly from the fire alarm. You'll bring it from the fire alarm and land it in these two red fire alarm terminal blocks. That could either be 12, 24 volts DC or 120 volts AC. It's important to make sure the voltage of the relay matches up with the voltage that you bring into the panel. Now, a lot of times they'll have a relay or a dry contact coming from the fire alarm, and there's a signal sent to that relay, but there's no power there. So there are two options to bring power to that dry contact or fire alarm relay. In these two terminal blocks here, there's 120 volts. In the second set, you have 24 volts. It works the same way. The power side here has to go to the normally closed side of the dry contact or relay, and bring it back on the common of that dry contact or relay and land it into one side of the red fire alarm terminal blocks. You will then jumper the other side, in this case the neutral, or the other side of the 24 volt, and put it in the other side of the red fire alarm terminal blocks. Doesn't matter which side of the red fire alarm terminal blocks that you put each one in, as long as they're on the opposite sides. Then you have power and you have a neutral. Now, when using 24 volt power, it's positive and negative instead of line and neutral, but it's the same concept. You'll bring one side up to the normally closed contact of the fire alarm relay or dry contact. You'll bring the common side back to one side of the red fire alarm terminal blocks. Then you're going to jumper the other side, again, as we did in the other one, to the other side, and it doesn't matter which side that is as long as they're in opposite sides of the red fire alarm terminal blocks. One thing you want to make sure of is whether you use 120 or you use 24 volts, you need to put the appropriate relay into the fire alarm relay base as shown here. Once you have that, you have voltage coming to your panel and you can close up the panel and it will run normally, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this switch is set to active. That means your fire alarm is active. The display is showing fire safe right now. That means you have power going to your red fire alarm terminal blocks, which is working in conjunction with your panel to show that it is active and that it is safe. Now, if there was a fire or you didn't have voltage to those red fire alarm terminal blocks, the display would look like this. So this red screen means fire unsafe, fire hazard. It shuts all the fans down. Now, if it's in this condition but there's no fire, say there's a false alarm, they're working on the fire alarm, but you can verify that it's safe, you can bypass the fire alarm system and operate your panel in the bypass mode, which allows you to run your fans and access your controls. So, let's say you've handled the situation with the fire alarm, you can turn this back into active. So it's going to say fire unsafe mode until you reset your panel. The way to do this is to press F4. Now you have voltage coming back to your red fire alarm terminal blocks. The fire alarm system is indicating everything is safe, and now you're good to operate the panel. The only other thing to mention with this is if you press the e-stop button and then you let it go, you have to press the F4 button to get it to reset and back running and operating. So that should be all you need to know about hooking your fire alarm system into your control panel.
Well, Brock, that's awesome. Thank you so much. There's going to be some helpful safety information and links in the description below here on this video. Feel free to give me or Brock a call in the Parts and Service Department here at Sonicare. We are here to help you guys in any way that we possibly can. Thanks for watching today.